It comes to beat. It's 37.4.
It was like an apocalypse.
5 years ago, Montreal couple Julien Bergeron and Manon Trudel were on the waters off the coast of Japan on board the Diamond Princess cruise, where they were quarantined for weeks and contracted COVID-19. They were one of the first Quebecers City News spoke to in February 2020 who were dealing with the virus before our first case here was diagnosed. The trip scarred them and changed their lives, altering how they're spending retirement.
For us, we were expecting to travel. We like traveling. We like that. See a lot of things. That was normal for us at that time, and we never came back.
Julien and Manon haven't traveled outside of Canada since that trip in 2020. At the time, they were embarking on a 3-month tour of the world. It was all cut short due to COVID. They were stuck in their cabin on a cruise ship where over 700 other people were infected. The Diamond Princess was the first cruise to have a major outbreak on board. 9 people from the ship died. From there, cruise lines suspended operations and people were told to avoid traveling on them as the crowded nature of cruises increased the exposure and rapid spread of the virus.
We didn't have any window, and it was a very small room. Because us, when we go to cruise, it was to go out, only to sleep in the room.
I was thinking about couples that argue a lot. If they had been in a small room not knowing what was going to happen without a window for days, I don't know if the relationship would have survived. Then, when Julien ran a fever, they had to get off the boat and the two were separated.
I was alone in the dark in an ambulance. I didn't understand what they were saying.
I didn't know where he was and no one told me where he was going. Manon was in a separate bus.
I saw the bus, Manon's bus, and I saw there was a window open. Actually, this is Manon. I went to her, I looked at the window and I made her a heart, and it was Manon.
He spent 22 days in a Japanese hospital and they were mostly separated by a window. And he was finally discharged on March 14th, coming back to Montreal the next day just as the lockdown began in Quebec. We don't realize how important the other person is until we almost lose them. So when we came back, that was a long learning curve. I was afraid of losing Julien.
I appreciate the moment now and I try to be more positive than negative.
Julien and Manon say their focus now is their family and being present.
We realize that simple thing, life is very complicated, but it's simple and it's beautiful.
In Montreal, Alyssia Rubertucci, City News.